the bread kitchen. Spelt is an ancient form of wheat, and the flour you get from spelt makes a delicious nutty loaf. Today I'm going to show you a very simple no-knead spelt loaf. For this no-knead spelt loaf I've got a very simple recipe. There's 500 grams of spelt flour. This is whole grain spelt, but you could use white spelt. 350 grams of lukewarm water, 2 tablespoons of honey. Honey goes very well with spelt bread. 1 teaspoon of dried yeast and 2 teaspoons of salt. Put the honey and the yeast into the water. Mix round, make sure all the honey's dissolved. Then leave for 10 minutes for the yeast to activate. Put the flour and the salt in a bowl, mix well, make a well in the centre, then pour in your foamy yeast, water and honey mix, and mix it all together with a spoon. So here's my dough, and it's kind of sticky. I'll just scrape it off the spoon. Now put the dough into a lightly greased bowl. Now we're not going to knead this in the traditional sense, but what we are going to do is pick it up out the bowl, stretch it and fold it back into the bowl. Turn it through a quarter turn, stretch it and fold it into 3, and one more time. Stretch, fold, pop it back in the bowl. Now I'll cover this and just leave it in a warm place for 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes I'll lift the dough out and give it another stretch and fold session. Stretch, you can see it's much more stretchy this time. Fold into 3, turn a quarter turn, stretch and fold. And one last quarter turn and stretch and fold. Now I'm going to do this stretch and fold a total of 4 times with 15 minutes between each stretch and fold. So that's the second stretch and fold. Cover and leave for another 15 minutes. So this is the 4th and final stretch and fold. Look how stretchy that is. And what I've done is, without degassing the dough, I've managed to put a little bit of structure into the rather fragile gluten that there is in spelt flour. Feels lovely. So I've got my loaf tin, which I've greased on the inside. I'll just lift this dough out and shape it a bit to make it fit the loaf tin. Then place it in. Push it down a little. Now I'll pop this into a plastic bag, or you could cover it with plastic film, and leave it somewhere nice and warm for a couple of hours. As you can see, this has risen beautifully, so I'm now going to bake this at 190 fan oven, 220 normal oven for 35 minutes. After 35 minutes it'll be this lovely brown colour, so I'll just turn it out and leave it to cool. So let's see what this loaf is like inside. Well, it looks just like any other wholemeal loaf to me, but it smells absolutely fantastic. Spelt bread makes a delicious alternative to wheat bread. I really like the nuttiness of bread made with spelt, and it's one of those breads that goes great with things like cheese and smoked salmon. I hope you enjoy making your spelt bread, and do join me next time in the bread kitchen.